Hi everyone, welcome to Eden Secret. We've got a special, very special wax melt making video today, which, because I've got so much footage, because we're doing 5 different wax melts all in the one video, I've actually had to make it into a 2-part video. So part 1 is today and part 2 will be tomorrow. I've had to split it because the whole video was going to be about an hour and a half, and I thought that maybe was just a little bit too long for everyone to watch. So I hope you enjoy the video. We're doing 5 different designer smells. Today we're going to be actually making the wax melts, and then tomorrow we'll be unmolding and packaging. Enjoy! Today we've got a special video for all those wax melt lovers out there. I carry a few different ranges of wax melts now, and we've got probably at least 150 different fragrances to choose from in the wax melts. So I have a designer range. The designer range is basically designer dupes, so they're like multiple perfumes out there. I've got a Lush range, which the fragrances are similar to that of Lush fragrances. We've got a Disney range, which I've called the Magic range. So obviously those fragrances are inspired by Disney World or Disney. We have a dessert range, so any kind of desserts you can think of, we've got a dessert range in there. The first one that springs to mind, because it's my favourite dessert of all time, creme brulee. And we have a spring and summer range, so spring and summer fragrances, and we have an autumn and winter range. So that's 6 different collections we have. So what I've got in here today, we're going to be making some of the designer range and one of the Lush range, because I haven't actually got those on the shelves and I need to get them made. So we've got 2 kilos of Eco Soy melt wax in this container here. I have pre-warmed these Pyrex jugs, and I pre-warm them because when I'm pouring the wax out with a hot plastic jug, if I pour it into a cold jug, then the wax just solidifies around the outside. So I like to warm those up. I put them in the microwave for a minute, and I usually, when you take them out, I like to use a cloth for the handle, because sometimes the handle can get a bit warm, so just be careful with that. So I'm not making tons of each. I'm just going to make, well, maybe half a dozen of each. Each mold, each compartment in the mold holds 60 mils, 10% of which will be fragrance, because we're using a 10% fragrance content in our wax, which means each compartment we need 50 mils for. Now I'm doing 5 different fragrances today, so I've got 2 molds for each fragrance just to cover me in case I go over. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 300 mils is going to do it if I want to fill just one mold. But I'm actually going to do 400 mils. I'm going to do 200 of each. So I'm just going to fill this up to the 200 mil mark. And the reason I'm using 2 containers is because I'm going to do 2 colours in each wax melt, which I don't think, no, you have seen me do that before, but you haven't seen me do it the way I'm going to do it today. I don't think, anyway. I can't remember. I've got that many videos, actually nearly 800 videos on my channel. So I've written myself a list because I can't remember all these in my head. We're going to be doing ANAIS, and if you look, I like to try and coordinate the colours so they go with whatever perfumes we're doing. And if you look at the ANAIS bottle, it's white and it's got a bit of a pink, turquoise and yellow swirl. The Bonbon is it's got burlesque here. It's the colour of the Bonbon bottle is very similar to burlesque mica, so that's what I'm going to be using. I'm going to use some silver dust as well, so they'll be the two colours. Dark Kiss is blue and hot pink. Decadence is teal, pink and black. And then Twilight, I scribbled it out because I always want to spell Twilight T-W-I-G-H, but it's not, it's just T-W-I-L-I-G-H-T. I always spell it wrong. I'm not the best speller in the world. And then so the Twilight is black, blue and like neon purple, so I've got that written down so I know exactly what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to do the Bonbon first, so I need to get my burlesque mica from You Make It Up, and we're using silver dust from Mica Mama, and then our Bonbon fragrance is from the Soap Kitchen. So that's what we're using today. Okay, so let's add our micas. You don't need too much of it. About 1/4 teaspoonful of the silver going in there, and the same quantity of the burlesque. Now, people keep sending me questions asking me about mica settling to the bottom of your wax. Yes, it does. There's nothing you can do about it unless there was such a thing as a suspended candle wax base. Then mica is always going to settle. If that bothers you, then you need to get proper candle dyes such as Becro candle dyes. If you type in candle dyes, there'll be into Google, there'll be multiple companies come up that supply specific candle dyes, but you're not going to get the beautiful pearlescent finishes that you do with the micas. And that is what makes them so interesting, is how beautiful they are once they're dissolved and melted. And so they're not really ideal for candles either. If you're making a candle in a vessel or a tall candle, I mean, it would create a pretty ombre effect, I guess. But the mica is always going to move down to the bottom and settle down there, and not going to show up higher up the wax. Right, so now we need to add in our fragrance, and I'm just measuring that at 10%. 10% of 200 is 20 mils, so we need 20 mils for this container, 20 mils for that container. Just give that a stir in, and while that wax is absorbing all that lovely fragrance, you can get your moulds ready for the pour. So I'm just going to move those to one side. The first pour is going to be pretty detailed, and then the other pours after that might be a bit faster in the video. So we're going to take our moulds like so. Now, another question people ask me is about the molds seem to absorb the fragrance and you can never get rid of the smell. No, you can't. It's silicone, it's kind of porous. The fragrance is going to sink into the silicone. So you'll have a multiple fragrance, because you reuse these over and over, you'll have multiple fragrances soaked into your silicone, and it does actually smell fabulous, but it's not actually going to taint the wax melt that you're going to put in there now. They're not going to be in the mold that long. They set up really fast actually. So the next step to this is we need to heat gun these molds. So I'm just using a regular heat gun from the local DIY store. You can get craft heat guns, they'll work. If you haven't got a heat gun at all, a hairdryer will do if you're just wanting to learn, you know, quickly how to do this. I'm going to zoom in close so you can see what actually happens to the mold when you put that heat on it. Okay, so now we're going to choose some glitter. So I've got this gorgeous glitter here, which is it's burlesque in colour, definitely bonbon-y in colour. It does have like bits of green and gold in there as well. So we're just going to sprinkle a little bit of that. I'll put a link to the glitter in the description box. Now the company I bought them from, they didn't label the bag, so I don't know what the name of each glitter that's going in here, but you will find some lovely glitters on this website. Now what I tend to do is I don't fill up all of the compartments, because if you don't pour any wax into the compartments, it's quite difficult to get the glitter out of the compartments. It's okay when the wax is in because the glitter sticks to the wax, but the ones where it doesn't, you don't pour the wax in, the glitter sticks to the mould and it's quite difficult to remove. So we're going to pour our melts now. Right, it's really important that you pour your wax at around about 60 degrees, so you can see the temperature we've got there. I'm just giving the wax another stir because the mica has settled to the bottom, and as soon as I've done that, we're then going to start to pour. So we'll be doing a double part pour. So all you need to do is just take your two jugs, hold one in one hand and the other in the other hand. And just gently, delicately pour those colours into that wax mould. Look how beautiful. That's going to make a gorgeous wax melt, isn't it? Can't wait to unmold these and see what they look like. Now I created double pouring in about 2005 with soap. And if you look back at some of my old videos from 2010, you might see me double pouring into cupcake molds. So you can see we do have a bit of wax left. So what I'm going to do is get that glitter again and just do one at a time. And these will probably be samples that I put in with people's orders. So I don't fill those all the way to the top. There you go. And what you want to do straight away is either get an old cloth or some kitchen roll. I'm just using an old cloth today, and I just get that cloth in there and I wipe out any excess wax that's left. Of course the cloth has been washed, so it's a clean cloth. A well-used cloth, I might add. It's just old towels that have been cut up, and I'm just wiping all the wax, well, as much of that excess wax out of that jug as I can. Okay, this time we're going to be using, I guess, blue and hot pink, so that's no good, is it? Oh, this one, this looks nice. We've got blue and hot pink in there, so I know we're probably going to fill, I know how many wax compartments we're going to fill now, so I'll just sprinkle the glitter in all of those. I just want to mention it's really important this, so turn your ears on. When you've got hot Pyrex jug, never put it on a cold worktop. Like especially if you've got granite. Isn't that beautiful, that glitter? Especially if you've got granite, which tends to be cold. Never ever put your hot Pyrex jug onto a cold surface. Always put it on a silicone mat or some kitchen roll or a towel or a dishcloth or something like that. Right, here are our waxes. This one predominantly with the Dark Kiss. The blue is the predominant colour, so I've put 300 mils of wax in this one and 100 mils of wax in this one. So the two colours I'm using is my favourite pink, neon pink. I'm just going to put a tiny bit of that into the smaller container, and then Tropical Temptations, which is from You Make It Up, but I'll find something similar and I'll put a link to that in the description box below the video, because You Make It Up don't actually ship to the UK now, or any, well, I don't know, it might have just been a Brexit thing, I don't know. So stir in your pink, might need a bit more pink in there. Then we'll stir in our blue. Absolutely beautiful colours together. I think we need a bit more of that pink though. I'm just going to have a go with my frother in the pink so you can see what happens. Because neons, they don't dilute very well, they can be a little bit speckly, so I just thought let's see what happens with the frother. Of course the frother froths, doesn't it? But I'm hoping if I leave that for a while all those bubbles will go. If they don't, it was a good experiment for us all to see on video, wasn't it? Right, so we're just going to add fragrance now. So I got this dark kiss, I got it from Craftastic. And if you don't know anything about CLP and you're not in the UK, don't worry about it. But if you're in the UK or EU, you need to add CLP information to your labels only. The good thing with wax melts is you don't have to have safety assessments or anything, so anybody can go out and make wax melts. But there is legislation that you have to follow, and the legislation we have to follow is we have to put the CLP information on there. What is CLP? It's just like you know, the types of warnings you get on candles: keep away from curtains, children, that kind of thing. Don't like put a naked flame near here or there, keep out of the reach of children. And also it is like any fragrance that has a certain quantity of allergens, you have to add that onto your label. And you'll find that I've actually got a video of me showing you how to do CLP whilst I'm making labels, so I'll put that in an information card in the top right hand corner of the screen. But basically the company that you buy the fragrance from, that is where you'll find the CLP information, and it's clearly linked under each fragrance. It would be under a safety or technical data listing. Sometimes they just write CLP underneath. Just click on that and the information's right there for you, and all you have to do is just copy it direct from that listing. So you can see the bubbles are dissipating here. Just going to check the temperature. It's quite low, the temperature, but I don't really want to pour yet because of those bubbles. So I'm going to wait until hopefully we lose some more of those bubbles. Right, time to pour. Now, because there's less in the pink, you've got to try and pour more of the blue in there. Otherwise we'll end up with a totally blue one at the end. Okay, so for the Decadence, which is another designer perfume, I've got some gorgeous glitter here. The colours of this perfume are teal and pink. Teal, pink and black. So this is like a greeny, tealy, not quite teal, but a deep green with pink glitter. Again, from the same company. Link in the description box below the video. And you don't have to use biodegradable glitter in wax melts, only cosmetics, because they're going down the sink. Although I don't think you have to have them, I don't think it has to be biodegradable in nail varnish, because that's not actually going down the sink. Right, so I guess I need 3 really, don't I, if I'm going to do teal, pink and black. I think I'll just do teal and black. So I've got some Turquoise Delight here. And some Black Pearl mica. I love the black in mica, it looks so cool. Doesn't it? It's gorgeous. This perfume is what my sister wears. She absolutely loves it. And she always also loves Good Girl. I'm tempted to put a bit of blue, but so that looks pretty tealish there, doesn't it? Tempted to put a little bit of blue in, just so when it, I was going to say saponifies, so I'm going to put a teeny bit of Tropical Temptation in, hoping I can darken it up a little bit so when it's set it looks more like a tealy colour than a turquoise, but I doubt it. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, more beautiful glitter for Afterglow, or as we know it more commonly, Twilight, which is a Lush dupe. So pretty. I just love glitter. Absolutely love it. I'd be devastated if, of course I could live without it, but I'd be devastated if they banned it altogether. Beautiful. So we're going to be using the black again, and the other colour that we need for this is neon purple. So the neon purple is from Mineral Makeup Ingredients. It's another one of those, because it's a neon pigment, is difficult to dissolve, but I'm not going to froth it up this time. Just give it a stir in now. Just hope a lot of it dissolves while we're doing the black and the fragrances. Now the Twilight fragrance I've got from Stan's Fields. Is it me? It's called Afterglow, but does it just smell like chocolate mints to you? That's what I can smell. Let me know in the comments down below if you've had it, of course. But it just smells like, yeah, Christmas chocolate mints. It's weird, I can look at wax now and tell whether it's cool or hot. And this is, it's at 55. So it is cool, but the fragrance hasn't had long to sit in the wax. So I'm just going to pop those into the microwave for 30 seconds. Now the fragrance is in the wax and all those beautiful aromas are coming out. I can still smell after eights, but I can smell fruits with it as well, berries, and it smells delicious. When you unmould the black with the glitter on, it just looks sensational. I hope you're enjoying this video, because you're getting 5 for the price of 1. Not filling these up, just going to make because if you look at the bottom of the bowl, you can see some of the bits of the colour there. and I don't want to pour those into the wax, so I'm just going to leave them in the jug and scrape them out. Okay, so for this one we're doing an ANAIS, which I got from Craftastic. And so the glitter, I'm using that lovely gold and pale pink again, because I don't have much that's actually pale pink. And the predominance of this wax melt will be white, with just hints of pink, blue and yellow. So we're going to need to separate off a little bit of wax in 3 small tiny quantities, just to give us that those 3 accent colours, which we're just going to use a pipette to dispense into the mould before we pour the white on. So instead of pouring the fragrance into the separate jugs, we're just going to pour it into the wax that we're using. I love this smell. It just takes me back to the 80s. It's not identical to the real thing, but it's as good as any that I've found anywhere. And it is floral, but it's so beautiful. I love it. Just brings back such amazing memories of when I was young and just leaving school. And you know how exciting it is when you're just leaving school and you're starting to experience all these new things in your life. This is what it reminds me of. It's gorgeous. I wish more companies carried it actually. But if you're as old as me, you might remember an ANAIS. I love the bottle, I love the feel of the bottle. It was just gorgeous. Very, very memorable. I've got the glass jugs here, and I've got another jug, all of which I've warmed up. And I'm just going to put a tiny quantity into each one. Because as I say, I really don't want very much at all. Okay, so for the yellow, I'm using Glitter Yellow from Mineral Makeup Ingredients. It's a beautiful yellow. And then we're using the Turquoise Delight. That's from You Make It Up, or Pure Rock Pearls, and then beautiful Passion Pink. Oh no, it's too bright. It's too bright. That actually, it might work if I just put a little bit in. It's not the pink I want. I'm frightened now. Shall I put it in or not? No, I'm going to get the paler pink that I've got. I'm going to use Blush Pink from MICA Mama. That's a safer bet. And I sort of can't go wrong with it. I don't want to regret it, do I? Right, so we'll just get those stirred in. So I'm going to put one in each pot because we don't want to mix those colours up, do we? So what do we want the first colour to be that we see on the top of the wax melt? So that's going to be the one that's going in first. So just sprinkling a little bit of this pink in. over the bases like so. So you see it's not going to take very much. Probably end up wasting what I've actually got in the jug, but it's always better to have a little bit too much than not enough, isn't it? Don't you think? So now we're going to pour it's plain white wax, but we cannot just have plain white wax, can we? We need to put something in it to make it interesting. So where is my Ultra Sparkle White? Ultra Sparkle White from Mineral Makeup Ingredients. Look how beautiful that is. Now the wax in this jug is at 70, and I am going to pour it at 70 because I want it to stick to all those little blobs we put in there. If we let it get too cool, it won't stick to those blobs and the blobs will be left in the mould. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen to me. So let's go, shall we? Isn't that beautiful? It is like, it's called Ultra Sparkle White, but it has got silver glitter in it. So it's white mica with silver glitter. Just pouring these short so that we get some good samples that can go out with orders. When people place orders, I always put samples in. You won't get a full strip, mind. It'll just be some of it, probably 3 segments. Right, that's it. All those wax melts are poured. I'll be back with you later to unmold them, but okay, that's it for part 1. I hope you enjoyed that. Next will be coming up part 2, so don't forget to tune in for that, which is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And if you're watching after tomorrow 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, the information card in the top right hand corner will give you a link straight to part 2. But because this video is uploading today, for those who are watching it on the day it's actually uploaded, You'll have to wait until tomorrow. Anyone else that's watching after that will just be able to click the information card in the top right hand corner, which will appear as soon as the second video is uploaded.